Tutankhamen, 18th dynasty. Tutankhamen, 1341 BC 1323 BC, was an ancient Egyptian pharaoh who ruled 1332–1323 BC during the late 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt. Born Tutankhaten, he was likely a son of Akhenaten, thought to be the KV-55 mummy. His mother was identified through DNA testing as the younger lady buried in KV-35. She was a full sister of her husband. Tutankhamen acceded to the throne around the age of 9, following the short reigns of his predecessors Smenkhare and Neferneferutin. He married his half-sister Ankhesenpatin, who was probably the mother of his 2 infant daughters. During his reign, he restored the traditional polytheistic form of ancient Egyptian religion, and doing the religious shift known as Atenism. His endowments and restorations of cults were recorded on the restoration stela. The cult of the god Amun at Thebes was restored to prominence, and the royal couple changed their names to Tutankhamen and Ankhesenamun, replacing the Aten suffix. Additionally, he moved the royal court away from Akhenaten's capital, Amarna, and back to Memphis. He re-established diplomatic relations with the Mitanni and carried out military campaigns in Nubia and the Near East. Tutankhamen was one of few kings worshipped as a deity during his lifetime. The young king likely began construction of a royal tomb in the Valley of the Kings and an accompanying mortuary temple, but both were unfinished at the time of his death. Tutankhamen died unexpectedly, aged about 18. His health and the cause of his death have been the subject of much debate. In 2012, it was suggested he died from a combination of malaria and a leg fracture. With his royal tomb incomplete, he was instead buried in a small non-royal tomb adapted for his use. He was succeeded by his vizier A, likely an old man when he became king. A's reign was short, being succeeded by Hormizd, Tutankhamen's commander-in-chief. Under Hormizd, the restoration of the traditional ancient Egyptian religion was completed. A and Tutankhamen's constructions were usurped, and earlier Amarna period rulers were erased. In modern times, Tutankhamen is known for the 1922 discovery of his tomb, KV-62, by a team led by British Egyptologist Howard Carter, sponsored by British aristocrat George Herbert. Although robbed anciently, it retained much of its original contents, including the king's undisturbed mummy. The discovery received worldwide press coverage. With over 5,000 artifacts, it gave rise to renewed public interest in ancient Egypt, for which Tutankhamen's mask, now preserved at the Egyptian Museum, remains a popular symbol. Some of his treasure has traveled worldwide with unprecedented response. The Egyptian government allowed tours beginning in 1961. The deaths of some individuals who were involved in the excavation have been popularly attributed to the curse of the pharaohs due to the similarity of their circumstances. Since the discovery of his tomb, he has been referred to colloquially as King Tut.